Welcome to the beautiful city, kingdom, whatever the shit we want to call it, of Saudi Arabia. Because you see great wrestling, you see no women on the card, and you see stupid storylines, and you also see Undertaker on a fucking float in a bloody Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade. Oh wait, Raw was in Cleveland. My bad, we'll talk all about that up next. YouTube, are you ready? Time to war, motherfuckers.
This is Mustang Mike, and you're watching WGS-TV.
What's up, guys? I'm the Wrestle Gamer. Welcome back to WrestleDOWN right here on WGS-TV. And joining me for the review tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the Studley Man Ashley. And just like you said at the onset with the intro, we basically had no women's division represented in any of the matches tonight.
Well, if you count the main event taping with Natalia and Sarah Logan, technically, but at least on the 3 hours of Raw, was no women, other than one. No, actually, I take that back. We had Charlie and poor old Sarah Schreiber.
Yeah. And what else we also had? Well, Ric Flair was set to reveal the final member of his team for the Crown Jewel, and the Street Profits were set to take on the OC with a mystery partner in their corner. So how did everything go down? Well, to answer that question, let's talk about Raw. Raw will kick off with the 16-time World Heavyweight Champion and 2-time Hall of Famer, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Rick, after endearing himself to the crowd, and probably a few pints of beer, and several fans who cosplayed as the Nature Boy himself, he would then cut a promo about... Go ahead.
Not beer. Not beer.
Not beer, something else? Something a little bit more stronger?
Probably.
Well, I was just trying to be nice. But anyway, he would cut a promo about how Hulk Hogan on SmackDown this past week played his hand for the world to see, and that the men on Team Hogan were great, but none of them were as good as his last pick, which turned out to be the returning Drew McIntyre. The Scottish psychopath would invite Flair to have a seat at ringside to give him and everyone a preview of what he was going to do to Team Hogan at Crown Jewel in the opening match against Ricochet. Now, it's not very often that we get to say that Raw had an amazing opening match, which was a sad notion in of itself. But boy, oh boy, did they give us a show like McIntyre and Ricochet. Few spots to mention. McIntyre not only being able to toss Ricochet into the steel post like he was a sack of newspapers, but being able to swat him out of the fly like he was a fly was nicely done. It's hard-hitting spots like that make a match entertaining to watch. Ricochet's shooting star press would make Matt Sydal say, "Nice job." McIntyre would counter Ricochet's recoil into a back body drop to the outside with a nasty landing. He would then send WWE's resident superhero into the ring post shoulder first, which set up the finish of the match, which was McIntyre hitting the Claymore. After the match, McIntyre continued the assault with the Glasgow Kiss, then with the Future Shock DDT, and on the outside, McIntyre hitting the Alabama Slam onto the steel steps. Now, Ashley, you and I, we were both speculating as we were watching Monday Night Raw that the word on the rumor mill, again, just rumor, this is just pure speculation, that they did this to write Ricochet out of Crown Jewel so that they could possibly replace him with Edge. But again, just speculation.
There's a lot of rumors going around. Edge is somehow going to be involved in Saudi.
I feel like
and all that jazz.
I feel like I should go back and post, and every time you say Saudi, I should add like an audio effect to it, like an echo,
bleeps,
or an echo. We'll see what.
No, just bleep it out.
Just bleep it out.
Like Blizzard in China, it's like censor it. Get out. Get out. No.
Well, we'll see what happens when this video gets posted. Aleister Black backstage would begin to talk about a side of him that is like a hellfire clawing its way to get out, to pick a fight with someone. Aleister sure knows how to deliver a promo. He will be in action next against Mr. Jason Reynolds, and once again we would get a showcase on the striking ability of Black, and that no matter who his opponent is, the moves will make you say, ouch. Reynolds would have very little offense against Black, but one knee strike and a Black mass kick later, Black would pick up the win. And one has to wonder now, Ash, how many talent enhancement matches are they going to put Black through before they start putting him against legit competition of sorts?
I don't know. Well, he already did. I guess they hit the reset button on that. Because Cesaro is just reset. Or something. I don't know.
Something like that.
We did forget something. Flair's promo in the middle of the Ricochet. Ricochet Drew.
They can't blame Jim Ross for this one.
Sarah Schreiber, just there.
I feel bad for Sarah. I really do.
How do you think it's going? Oh, it's going great. He's going to take Ricochet into orbit. You see, you watch. And Rick, have you got anything to say to Hulk Hogan, who's no doubt watching at home? Hogan, you better get down on Friday. Friday, I'm going to see you, face to face. I want to know what you're going to do about it. What are you going to... Where is it? Cleveland? Kansas City? Where's SmackDown?
Yeah, well,
wherever we are.
Well, Rick definitely had a little bit of this.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah, probably about once or twice or even 3 times before going out there. So, again, I feel bad for Sarah having to do that with Rick. And also, just when you thought it was safe to watch Monday Night Raw again, we would get yet another Authors of Pain vignette talking about how they are the hardest tag team and that they are removed from SmackDown and that it's written in blood or whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. I mean... And going from bad to worse, the King's Court.
That previous segment was brought to you by this.
The King's Court with Rusev as the guest to talk about this stupid scandal with him, Lana, and Rusev. Rusev would blame Bob Lashley, that's how he said it, for all of it, saying that he poisoned Lana's mind, and would go on to remark that he still wears his wedding band, I think that's what he said, or bang, I don't know, and has hopes that he and Lana could work through this and live happily ever after. Gag me with a fucking fork. How fucking sappy can you fucking get? The levels of nausea would increase, because of course we would have to have Lana and Loosely cut yet another fucking ridiculous promo in response to Rusev. This time, they would appear in some stupid-looking restaurant. Loosely would go on...
Which wasn't a restaurant.
Loosely would go on to remark about taking care of Lana's needs, which appear to be spending money and losing brain cells. Lana took a spoonful of ice cream, took a bite, and then wiped some of it on Loosely's nose, remarking to Rusev about how much she begged him to take her there but never did. The King would ask
Wait. So she wants Lashley to paint himself white. Is this not racist?
The King would ask...
I mean, in UK, especially because in the UK it's Black History Month. Oh, I can't wait for that in a few weeks when they do the UK shows.
Oh, jeez.
Paint him white.
The King would ask Rusev to respond to them, and Rusev said he would, in person, because he knew where they were.
Backstage.
Yeah. Who thought up this ridiculous, stupid angle? It is just... Whoever thought this up and thought, hey, this makes good TV, must have got lessons from Vince Russo. Because that's how fucking ridiculous that this angle is. This is Rusev level retardation right here. That's how fucking stupid this angle is. And I can't stand it. It pisses me off. Because Lashley can't cut a promo to save his fucking life. Rusev is somewhat okay. And Lana is nothing but blonde hair and a set of tits. That's it. What else can I say? Other than the fact that I am fucking tired of seeing it. I don't know how you feel about it, Ashley, but I am fucking sick and tired of seeing it.
It's up there with Gable. It's the storyline.
No, this is worse. This is worse. This is worse than Gable. This is 100 times worse than Gable.
No. In both sets, they're degrading.
Yes, they are.
In the wrong way. You know, Paul thinks it's funny to have soap opera style stuff on Monday Night Raw, which I don't know whether the demographic that mostly watches this show, which is, you know, over 50s, gives a crap about that kind of thing anymore.
Does
I don't know whether
not listen to their fan base anymore? Or do they listen to the fan base and not give a shit?
Oh, you be careful or I'll give your grandmother bed sores, Billy.
Oh, God. Up next, it was Andrade taking on the returning Sin Cara. Zelina Vega would hype up Andrade and talk about how Sin Cara means man with no face, so tonight not only was he going to leave without a face, he was also going to leave without a victory. Sin Cara's community efforts were brought up, including showing pictures from his response with people to the terrible tragedy that happened back in August in El Paso, Texas. After not being on TV for several months, Sin Cara looked to be in really good shape. Some of his high-risk moves in relatively nice fashion, like his tope suicida and the moonsault to the outside. However, Zelina would provide a distraction, allowing Andrade to take advantage. The faceless one would bring the fight back to the former NXT champion, nearly putting Andrade away after a sunset flip powerbomb. Sin Cara would then connect with a Hurricane Rana on the outside, and as they were making their way back to the ring, Zelina would distract Sin Cara yet again, and Andrade hung him out to dry over the top rope. And just like last week, Zelina would connect with a Hurricane Rana of her own to Sin Cara, which set up Andrade with the Hammerlock DDT to pick up the win. Two things I want to mention. One, why do they not just make Zelina Vega a viable contender in the women's division?
She's too short.
Yeah, but what does that say about Alexa Bliss?
Why else do you think she hasn't been wrestling for the last few weeks, Billy?
Oh.
I mean, yes, concussion, but at the same time.
Well, backstage, Humberto Carrillo, who apparently, when it's morphin' time, was watching backstage and would be asked about Andrade's win. He would respond by saying that Andrade would make a great Universal Champion, that is, if Humberto didn't beat him to it first. And he also would be a great champion that doesn't play with fire like Seth Rollins does. The only thing I could say about that, Ash, is, well, so much for the Mexican White Ranger.
Yes, but at the same... Well, I appreciate what they were trying to do here, but because he wasn't sort of great on the English...
No.
It didn't fully connect as well as it should have done.
And we
also, it's just...
Should we bring up Dio and what he did with that segment?
Oh, God. Hang on. It's ready. Dio! Yes, I know that looks like a D10. Maybe that's a reference as well. He chose Dio because D10 because he's a D&D fanatic.
Yeah. Basically, it's just Humberto looking into the monitor with all that Ranger stuff gear on, and he was looking at it, and there's a picture of the Mystic Force Power Rangers. Yes,
Dio.
I know the Power Rangers lore too because I grew up in it, guys. Give me a break.
Dio had a rough week. Dio had a rough week one.
Yeah, more or less.
The the Raw before the SmackDown debut. He wasn't great. He was getting to grips, being used to probably, you know, Vince shouting in his ear and whatever. Over the course of the last
2 weeks?
3 weeks? Is it? No, 3.
3.
Because there was the Raw after the SmackDown debut.
Mm-hmm.
Raw after the SmackDown draft, which was the Raw draft, and obviously this week. In the last 3 weeks, he's really getting good. He's doing enough oblique references that make the young people go, wait, did he just drop a Persona reference? Wait, did he just quote the fucking terrible, what a horrible night to have a curse line from Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest? Yeah. Did he just reference... Did he just reference Neon Genesis Evangelion?
Because that's what he should get every time. Get applause. Applause.
And then, spoilers for later on, did he call Jerry Lawler, who's showing his age, this? Yes, he did. Yo Madden, Brennan Williams, whatever we call you, sir, you have won the internet this week.
Yes, you have.
+2.
Well,
+2 dexterity.
Well, R-Truth was sneaking around backstage for the 24/7 championship until he ran into one of the Bollywood boys who proclaimed that he was a famous actor and he was award-winning. R-Truth would yell action, and then the other Bollywood boy rolled up R-Truth to win the 24/7 championship. I don't know why either. Up next.
Yeah, but either he's seen double or there's 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, up next, it was the new Raw Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders, taking on a team who said they were grateful for the opportunity in Curt, Hawkins, and Zack Ryder. The Raiders started as they usually do with their aggressive flurries and impressive double team moves. Ivar's agility would be on display as well with the tope suicida. And keep in mind, Ivar is about 305 pounds and he moves like a cruiserweight. Hawkins and Riders would have some measure of offense. Yep, 305 live. And now they call him a Burling Wrecking Ball, I believe is the new name they're giving him. Hawkins.
He's a fucking Burling Wrecking Ball.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you, Miley Cyrus. Hawkins and Ryder would have some measure of offense against Eric, but it wouldn't last long as Ivar would get tagged in and take it to both Hawkins and Ryder. Eric would slam Ivar on top of Hawkins and would try for the pin, but Zack broke it up, which seemed to piss off Eric, who landed a vicious knee strike on Ryder to wipe him out. The finish of the match was the Raiders connecting with the Viking experience to pick up the win. Ash, more often than not, I think that this was basically not to make them... Well, it was to make the Raiders look strong as the Raw Tag Team Champion, but moreover, this was to, I would think, put over the Tag Team Turmoil match for Crown Jewel.
Yeah, because, you know... So...
Cue effect number 2. I also have another question. Why? And I mean,
why?
Why did this happen? Why did we have to do this? Why did we have to suffer through this? Why did WWE have to transition back to Lana and Loosely at the restaurant? Why? A man appeared, who we can assume was an employee or a manager, asking them to leave respectfully upon hearing that Lana's husband was on his way there. Loosely would laugh it off, saying that Rusev wouldn't have the guts to show up. I'm sorry?
We found why. Black Draw reasons.
Oh, God. For the next scene, you could tell it was filmed somewhere else, just from the setting. Everything was different from the promos that Lana and Loosely did earlier in the night. Rusev showed up, threw a table over, took down Loosely, then all the rent-a-cops in the area showed up. Can we get a rent-a-cop to arrest the fucking idiot who thought up this stupid angle? Please?
If those people in the restaurant were actually, you know, in relationships with each other, dear God, they need better marriage counselors.
Yeah. Well, up next we would have Rey Mysterio out there, who was thanking the fans for the outpouring of love and support. I just got to say this: it doesn't matter at what age and at what time, Rey Mysterio is over no matter what, because that's how much respect the conventional wrestling fans have for Rey Mysterio today. They respect him for everything that he's done, which goes back into WCW. And they just love the fact that he's still here and he's still doing what he's doing. And again, no matter what Rey does, he's just going to get just that from the fans, actually, in my opinion, that outpouring of love and support.
Yeah. Well, he's earned it for his 20-plus years in the business.
Oh, you'll
Why
get no
isn't he on
argument.
the cover of 2K20? Why isn't he on the cover of 2K20 alongside Becky? Why did it have to be Roman?
I have no idea. Maybe we'll have a video discussing that later. But anyway, he was out there showing, thanking the fans. Again, we might. But anyway, he was out there to thank the fans for the outpouring of love and support towards him and his family, and how Cain Velasquez is going to carve a matching scar in the face of Lesnar. And upon hearing that, Paul Heyman would appear on the Tron to talk about how Rey was serving up Kane on a silver platter to a hungry beast. Wade would respond with something in Spanish. I don't know Spanish, so I don't know what he said. And then Shelton Benjamin would make his presence known, talking about how he trained with Brock at the University of Minnesota, and aside from Heyman, nobody knew him better than Shelton. Benjamin also appeared to feel jilted over the fact that Cain Velasquez could just show up and get a WWE Championship opportunity, and began shoving Rey around, which brought out the former UFC champion, who took Benjamin down with a massive waistlock takedown and rained down some punches, and then locked a sleeper on Shelton, who quickly tapped out and fell out of the ring. Ash, do you think they accomplished what they wanted to do here? Because it's quite obvious that they were trying to do this to put Cain Velasquez over before Crown Jewel. Do you think that they accomplished this?
I mean, yes, it made sense for, if Brock isn't going to be around, for him to attack Shelton because of the connection that they have throughout the years and whatever. It didn't look clean. I mean, what didn't help is I can't be bothered to pull the sign out because I have. This is how many sheets of paper I now have, people. I'm writing Lord of the Rings here. I'm writing Lord of the Rings. Kevin, every time Kane decided to do a punch on the sort of ground and pound position, let's cut the camera. And it's like, ugh. So, you know, we get it. We like cutting the camera. We know.
And see, the camera cuts messed with Ashley so much it made him tired.
But all in all, it's probably because there's a delay on it because Billy's getting too intensive with his black draw.
Oh God!
It sort of did what it had to do, but it wasn't executed great. The fact that like Shelton got out after he tapped, and they were just standing there like saying, "Come on, man!" and his music played, and the crowd were like, "Do we clap? Do we cheer? What do we do?" Golf clap, I guess.
Well, backstage, Seth Rollins was being interviewed.
Hello! Oh wait, that's Lashley.
Oh God! Backstage, as I'm trying to purge that image out of my brain, Seth Rollins was being interviewed about The Fiend and how The Fiend may have gotten into his head, but he has gotten inside his head. And when you face him in the ring, it changes you. Rollins would then notice Humberto Carrillo and approached him about his comments from earlier in the evening, and then challenged him to a match up next. Now, if Carrillo didn't turn heads in this match and put people on notice, then I have no fucking idea what the hell you were watching. Because Carrillo showed me something tonight. I think putting Rollins with Carrillo for his debut match on Raw was a supreme stroke of genius. We'll see some of the things that makes Rollins Rollins, like his tope suicida, among other things. But Carrillo, with that beautiful agility that he has, it just makes it seem seamless with some of the things that he does. And that beautiful moonsault on Rollins, but apparently it was not enough to keep him down for the 3. Carrillo would try one more time and would get burned, pun definitely intended, as Rollins would get his feet up for the counter, then connected with a super kick to the gut, and then hit the stump on Carrillo to pick up the win. After the match, Rollins would show some respect to Carrillo by shaking his hands. I should also feel that we should bring up the fact that the fans throughout this match were chanting, "We want Wyatt." If you guys want Wyatt, well, apparently he rebuilt the Firefly Funhouse, because they promoted tonight that the Funhouse was returning Friday night on SmackDown on Fox Sports 1. So if people are wanting the Funhouse this badly, Ashley, well, they're going to get it again coming this Friday. But it's just going to be on FS1.
Yeah, which some people may not have. So I don't believe Fox Sports 1 is it? Is it?
I do.
It's one of the subscription channels.
Yeah, I have it.
No, but I'm saying for the whole idea was WWE was going to be on non-cable. So for 1 week only, it's not going to be on non-cable. Thanks, World Series. Oh, hang on, I've got to do it the orange. I've got to do it the Orange Cassidy style. Yeah. So I guess we know what's going to get watched the shit out of on YouTube then on Friday, Saturday, aren't we?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wowie.
R-Truth would attempt to get his baby back, being the 24/7 championship,
Rip.
and would sneak up behind one of the Bollywood boys. Problem is, he rolled up the wrong one, and then the boys.
So there is 2 of them.
Yeah. I don't know what's worse, the Bollywood Boys promo or Lana and Loosely. I really don't know. I really can't tell these days. But for the main event.
Well, to some extent, both, because when they got away, they go Bali, 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 and it sounds wow, that sounds racist.
What was that?
That sounds racist.
Yeah, I know. It made them sound ridiculous. I mean, they already look ridiculous, and now you're gonna make them go around going Bali, Bali. Really, really, Paul Heyman, that's your plan for Monday Night Raw? Fuck you, Paul Heyman. But now for the main event. First off, I was given the impression that going into this, it was going to be a 6-man tag team match, with the OC taking on the Street Profits and a mystery partner. But it turned out to be a regular tag match. We did get a showcase, however, of what made the Profits such a good team to watch in NXT, especially with the in-ring ability of Montez Ford and how well he gels with Angelo Dawkins. How many people remember the gimmick with Dawkins when he would just come to the ring pretending he was holding a bull and doing this? I wonder how many of you guys remember that. Ford's leaping ability is by far one of the most amazing things, to say the least. But it wouldn't take long, though, for Gallows and Anderson to get control of Montez Ford. Now, Styles, several times, that's easy for me to say, Styles, several times, would get involved in the match until he got caught when he was about to suplex Ford on the outside, and the referee ejected him from the match.
What was the thing that he was doing on the outside where he was trying to be like Eddie Guerrero, like, come on, like, what was that all about?
I don't know. But as soon as the referee did that, we would hear...
Well, I thought Cleveland was a non-smoke state.
Oh, God. Because we would hear the music of Kevin Owens. And KO quickly came out and dispatched of Styles with a stunner. The finish of the match came when Dawkins first connected with the Skyhand to Anderson, and then... I gotta say this, Ash. Ford's version of the Frog Splash is a thing of beauty. If you thought that, what's his name, with the private party? Quinn? If you thought...
I think Quinn does it, not Cassidy.
Yeah, if you thought Quinn's Frog Splash was a thing to see, you definitely got to put it right up there with Montez Ford's Frog Splash, because that thing is a thing of beauty.
Yes, I mean, it was... It did what it had to do, and I'm hoping it won a lot of people over. Because I think over the last week and, 2 hours? I think the Street Profits have sort of shown they do actually belong on the main roster. Yes, they do this sort of stupid gimmicks in the background and whatever. But at the same time, they show that they can wrestle. They clearly connect well with the fans, considering, you know, the ending. I'm gonna grab your baby.
Well, before Montez Ford gets convicted of kidnapping, let's go to overall score and thoughts. Raw tonight was surprisingly a decent show. How drunk was Ric Flair tonight? It was good to see McIntyre back, and what a match he had with Ricochet. How many talent enhancement matches will they have Aleister go through? The Rusev, Lana, Bob Lashley love triangle makes me want to vomit. I did enjoy Andrade versus Cara. I wonder if Curt Hawkins is starting a new losing streak, trying to surpass his previous one. Mysterio and Heyman's promos were good, and Shelton's reaction to Velasquez was really well done. Welcome to Monday Night Raw, Humberto Carrillo. The Street Profits look good in their debut match on Raw, but did Montez Ford have to take somebody's baby? Overall score of Raw this week, it's a 3 out of 5, with best match of the night going to Seth Rollins versus Humberto, with worst segment of the night going to that stupid, retarded, Loosely and Lana restaurant scene. For reasons I have already stated on the review tonight, if not tonight, then the week before, or the week before that when the inception of this stupid-ass gimmick started. Ash, over to you. Overall score and thoughts?
I have to give it a 3.5. We got 4 great matches tonight. You have a tag match that finished it off. Andrade Sin Cara, Humberto Seth, and Ricochet Andrade. To a lesser extent, I enjoyed the tag match with Viking Experience and Hawkins and Ryder. That did well. What other matches did we have on?
So you had McIntyre and Ricochet. We didn't have any women's matches.
Yeah. Well, that I guess would be my worst segment of the night. They couldn't even come up with an excuse to have a women's match on. They were just like, yeah, let's not have it. By the way, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Where are the tits? Oh wait, they're in Australia. Fuck.
Well, hey, I'm wearing a pink shirt, but it's for the Kabuki Warriors.
Kabuki. I was trying to have a look at the list of matches. It means I need to go to the notes. Black and Jason Reynolds was sort of a squash match, but did what it had to do, so he can't really complain. Andrade and Cara was great. Viking Raiders, Hawkins and Ryder was good. Mysterio promo was solid. And all the stuff with that. Seth and Humberto was good. Street Profits and Gallows and Anderson was decent. Even though it wasn't given probably as much time as it could have, but I'm seeing some people not... I love it. The one criticism I actually might have of that Humberto Seth match, although it was a good match and it really looked good, the crowd didn't seem to give a shit. I don't know whether it was just because, oh, it's this person that we've never seen before because we don't watch 205 Live versus Seth Rollins. Which, you know, perhaps it was just like...
Which was one of the reasons why I said if Humberto didn't turn people's heads tonight and didn't put them on notice, I have literally no idea what they were watching, because he was absolutely fantastic in that match.
Well, the problem with Cleveland, which is known to sort of be a bit rough sometimes, like not caring about stuff. Like, I swear there was a CM Punk chant at one point, wasn't there?
I did hear it. I think it was backstage when R-Truth was looking for one of the Bollywood boys.
Yeah, vaguely remember that. But the crowd didn't give a damn about Seth. I think cancel culture might have hit Seth. And it isn't his fault, it's the booking. Hell in a Cell neutered Wyatt to some extent, I would argue. But it completely means that Seth has to be a heel now. Surely.
Well, I guess it all hinges on what happens on Friday Night SmackDown with the return of the Firefly Funhouse.
Oh no! I've worked out the worst segment.
Okay.
Undertaker randomly on that fucking giant float in Riyadh. Right, we want you to go on top of this 75-meter high float. Hold on to a ladder that's on there and just do your arms and eyes thing. And we'll put fireworks up. And also, for the first time in a while, it was the beautiful city of Riyadh. It's coming back. It's probably going to be on SmackDown. Undertaker's going to be there holding the ladder. This isn't me doing my Undertaker Deadman thing. It's because I've got vertigo and I'm scared of fucking heights. Why did they put me up this high, the stupid fucks? Oh shit. I'm having to hold on the ladder because if I don't, I'm going to be groggy and fall over.
Oh my god.
And to think, this time last week, he was in fucking Nando's in the UK. What is he thinking? This crazy fuck.
Oh my god. Anyway, guys, that's been our thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. Well, we don't know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. What are your overall scores? What are your picks for best and worst match or segment of Monday Night Raw this week? Definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, be sure you slam that like button. Like a champ, and if you guys want to see more of WrestleDOWN right here on WGS-TV, you know the two ways you got to do it. You got to leg drop the subscribe button and hit that bell icon to turn on notifications so that way you guys will never miss out on another video right here on my channel. So with my special thanks to the Studly Man Ashley, I'm your friendly neighborhood Wrestle Gamer, reminding all of you guys out there to just stay awesome. Bye, guys! You have been summoned, Dio, to the dark side.
The laugh. Yeah.